Every month, crazy things happen in the world of Christianity, and I'm going to be here to cover it, or at least for this month. This is Crazy Christian Stories of July 2023. My name's xeroforhire, and this is the 520 Collective YouTube channel. If you're not already a member, please subscribe, like, share, all the stuff like that. You know the drill. All right, let's get into the crazy stories. Coming in at number 7, basically anything surrounding the release of The Sound of Freedom. A movie based on the life of anti-trafficker campaigner Tim Ballard has surpassed $100 million at the box office on its 16th day of release. Prior to its release, the film sold $10 million in ticket sales at over 2,000 theaters. Angel Studios, an independent studio, used the Pay It Forward app as a promotion to encourage patrons to buy tickets and give it to those who wish to watch the movie for free in theaters, adding to the ticket sales of $2,679,000 to its box office returns, raising the opening revenue to a whopping $14 million, and over 10 million ticket sales have been purchased through the app called Pay It Forward. I don't know, but if that's not what you call a movie hype, I don't know what to tell you. Barbie and Oppenheimer eat your hearts out. That puts The Sound of Freedom at number 5 of all-time high-grossing Christian movies, with Sound of Freedom coming in at $100.9 million, only to be surpassed by The Passion of the Christ and all 3 of the Chronicles of Narnia movies. Yes, even the really terrible one about Prince Caspian. To me, that just goes to show that there is an appetite for stuff like this. There is a Christian market, and there are people that are willing to not only go see the movie, but that are also willing to help support it in many other ways. All you have to do is tell a good story and give people what they want. I mean, we already have this trope about Christian movies being all hunky-dory and goofy and stuff, but it doesn't have to be like that.
God, they say that you are love. If that's true, I sure could use a little of you right now. And I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't want a divorce. I want you.
Yes, there is a market for that. I mean, there are people that like that kind of style of film. But all you have to do is tell a good story with a Christian message behind it, and people will go out and support it. I mean, just look at Angel Studios. So coming in at number 6, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to like your movie, especially if you're reading websites like churchleaders.com, the New York Post, or even Newsweek. And according to them, there's claims that Sound of Freedom viewers were forced to evacuate movie theaters on multiple occasions. Apparently, there's some sort of sabotage campaign going around. People in the comments section have been reporting on it all over the place. There's videos, TikTok, a lot of TikTok videos, but of course, there's nothing to be worried about. So according to Rolling Stone, who absolutely loved this movie, by the way. Wait, no, that was Cuties. I'm sorry, Rolling Stone likes Cuties, not The Sound of Freedom.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. This is so much cancer that I can feel the tumors growing on my back.
But it's weird because there's a lot of videos. I mean, like, a lot of videos, especially on TikTok and Twitter and YouTube Shorts, I guess. They're all over the place of people saying that weird things are happening inside of these screenings of The Sound of Freedom, from the lights flickering to the AC going out to fire alarms going off. I mean, they can't all be making it up, right?
Have you heard anything about the other movie theaters? AC not working?
Like the other houses?
No, well, like around the whole country, different theaters. In this movie only, the AC doesn't work. It's like super stiff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should look online. It's like, it's insane.
It's probably just...
Well, whatever the reason is, I'm sure they'll get down to the bottom of it. I mean, it's not like anybody's doing anything like that on purpose. And according to PolitiFact, this whole thing is false anyway. It's not accurate. They talked to the CEO of AMC Theaters, so, you know, it's just a big conspiracy theory. Nothing to worry about. Now, coming in at number 5, this one requires a little bit of backup. So there is this country singer by the name of Jason Aldean, as you can see here on the screen, and he makes country songs. I'm familiar with some of his music. I would probably describe it as country music about hanging out with your girlfriend to trap beats. That's the best way I can think of describing it. Well, anyways, he started a he started something of a riot when his new song called Try That in a Small Town released in May of 2023. But for some reason, it didn't get an uproar until June. And boy, did it get an uproar. News started coming out all over the place about controversy and outrage, like this one from the Washington Post. The outrage over Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town explained. Or this one is how Black Lives Matter protest footage was reportedly removed from controversial Jason Aldean music video. And this was about the first I had heard of it, because Jason Aldean music to me is mid at best. It's definitely not Christian, and it's not in a category that I might actually run to see a video. And then you see an honest headline that just tells the entire story. When liberal outrage backfires, the irony of the Jason Aldean controversy. All of a sudden it started to make sense. Oh, I don't think this is a music story. This is more of a political story where people are saying there's something in the video that isn't there. I went and watched the video for myself, and I didn't hear any lyrics about anything racist. I didn't see anything directly referencing anything directly. It was like the country music white version of Come to My Hood or F Around and Find Out, if you know what that means. The reason this is even showing up in a Christian culture story is because Christian rappers, especially during that 2-day trial, lost their freaking minds. All I saw all over Twitter for 2 days was Christian rappers saying how racist the song was and how it was about sundown towns, and other people saying, you guys are blowing this out of proportion. That song doesn't have anything in it that you're mentioning. If anybody's really curious about what the song is about or what's in it, I'd say just go look at the lyrics and then pull up the music video, and at best you're gonna see a bunch of Antifa people burning cars. I think there might be like one split second of a black guy in the entire video. So however it's racist, that's up for you to decide, but we're just gonna move on to number 4. Florida State Rep Kimberly Daniels is renowned in Christian circles as the Demon Buster. And no, that isn't the story. According to thechristianpost.com, she's under fire for an address that she gave 15 years ago where she states, "I thank God for slavery." There's a lot that goes into putting these videos together. When I see something like this that I know is going to get me in trouble, I can't help it. I have to do it.
I thank God for the crack house. If it wasn't for the crack house, come on somebody, God wouldn't have never been able to use me how he can use me now. And if it wasn't for slavery, I might be somewhere in Africa worshiping a tree.
The fact that this clip comes out 15 years later is in itself kind of weird, but the thing that's crazy about it is that this is now a politician who is being criticized for denouncing the state's new Black history curriculum as propaganda. Boy, there's a lot of racial overtones in this week's episode.
Oh, in this adulterous and sinful generation!
And coming in at number 3, again from the Christian Post. These are pretty much all just from the Christian Post at this point. A Major League Baseball pitcher is released back into the game after a backlash of a tweet that he says about homosexuality, refusing to denounce his Christian beliefs. The 33-year-old pitcher from the Boston Red Sox by the name of Matt Dermody was on a podcast, and he was talking about pretty basic Christian stuff. He says homosexuals will not inherit the kingdom of God and will go to hell, citing 1 Corinthians 6:9. Now, we all know how difficult it is to stand up against any sort of homosexual activity, especially during Pride Month, when your team is hosting Pride Month for Pride Month. I mean, that's basically the story. They had Pride Night at the team baseball dome celebrating. I mean, they did it all month. You know what Pride Month is like. That's basically the story. Like I said, Christian holds on to Christian beliefs that have not changed in more than 2,000 years, and somehow the mainstream media is surprised by it. But yeah, good for him for standing up for the word of God. It's not too many people willing to do that anymore.
We just ask that you remove any iniquities, God, that you remove anything that's stopping us from worshiping. Sorry about that.
At number 2, a poll that cites that the poorest Americans are likely to have a great deal of confidence in church. Now, this one I felt like was a little bit of a spin because it comes from a Gallup poll, which does talk about Americans' confidence in things in the year 2023. I mean, let's just face it, things have been kind of rough for all of us. But here in this poll, you can see that the church or organized religion, I mean, who even uses, does anybody unironically use the phrase organized religion? The church and organized religion is pretty high up there in the confidence level for at least some Americans, most Americans, I guess, yeah, for most Americans. You can see across the board, Congress is way down there at the bottom where it belongs. But it just shows that when during hard times, people are most likely to look up, depending on who you are.
Pastor is dead from a poisonous snake bite, the 10th time he'd been bitten, and the 10th and final time that he refused medical treatment. He's one of a community of Christians who say vipers are as vital to their services as the Bible itself.
And of course, the craziest song of all is this month, Dax and his song God's Eyes is currently sitting at the top of the top 40 U.S. Christian and gospel songs. Apparently that isn't hard to do because last month it was this artist. But if you're not familiar with Dax, he is a rapper. He's not a Christian rapper by any means, but he does have a lot of spiritual songs, including this one called God's Eyes. Apparently this isn't the first time that he's been in Christian media. He's been kind of buzzing around spiritual topics. But if you look at the other songs in his catalog, it's very clear that he's not a Christian artist, and there's some language issues there.
Cuss words, you know, which to me is laughable because I feel like a cuss word's a curse word. I feel like you don't need to say the F word to curse somebody. I even say, like, with me, like, I used to cuss more in songs, you know, but now it's like, you know, I have a lot of songs where I don't cuss, like Dear Alcohol, To Be a Man, those are obviously don't cuss in those songs.
Your top, like, when I was looking at your Spotify, your top couple records don't have.
Yeah, I don't have cuss. It's really more of the rap stuff.
Yeah.
I never even just, like, you know, I refuse to live in that world.
Either way, when you look at it, Dax is an extremely intelligent and extremely successful musician. On YouTube here, he has 5 million subscribers, and all of his songs have at least 1 million views. So I think that's one of the big things that he's bringing to the table in terms of checking the Christian box on the submission distribution part. It says, oh, Christian. I don't think that people are really checking to see if songs are Christians or not when they're adding them to the charts. They just kind of have to take your word for it. And when you bring 11 million views to a song, you're bound to get pretty high up there on the charts. So there you go. He's up there above
Corey Asbury,
Chris Tomlin, CeCe Winans, Brandon Lake, even Lauren Daigle's on here. So yeah, there you go. Craziest thing, isn't it? This month, that's the 7 crazy Christian stories of July 2023. Which one did you think was the craziest? Did you agree with our list? Did you disagree? Is there another story that you want to have me consider for next month's countdown? All you have to do is follow us here on 520 Collective or on our Substack channel. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, of course. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.
The power of the Holy Ghost. This is easy.